Good morning, gamer. What's going on? It's Red K.
And the loneliest wolf by choice.
Thanks for joining us. Today is March the 24th, and it's a special day. 10 years ago on this day, Scott Pilgrim whooped Captain America's ass, and he whooped Superman's ass. It happened. It's true.
Because he's better than both of them. It's obvious.
So they're going to be releasing they already released the game, right? They re-released it.
Yeah.
You were able to get it.
They released it about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, so you can get it on like all platforms pretty much right now, right?
Yeah, I haven't played it since the first release because the online for it is broken. Really, really broken.
Oh, the game online is broken. Because co-op with it, right?
Yeah, it's co-op, and when I say the online is broken, the online is broken. Where
I mean, this was released back in like the live days, though, right?
Yeah, it's desync is like a huge thing with it. I was playing with me and a buddy of mine were trying to stream it, and there was so much desync. Enemies on his screen wouldn't appear on my screen, and vice versa. Also, sometimes it was chugging so bad on my end that I had about a second delay between what happened on screen and button press.
Wow, that's kind of.
I don't know if Ubisoft has fixed it, but it's pretty bad, and apparently it's across all platforms.
Yikes! Yeah, that's not great. But the movie is though. The movie is. I don't think the movie was popular when it first came out. It's one of them cult classics.
It was like super popular when it came out. Got a lot of people into reading the book or the manga series, the comic series.
With
which the comic series I think does a lot better.
Like
What's that?
7 Deadly Boyfriends, or was it?
Yeah. 7 Deadly Exes.
Yeah.
Each the comic I think conveys the story a little bit better because it can do it a lot better. But I will say that the movie did a really good job of kind of trying to stay a little bit one-to-one and stuff on it. But for the most part, I would have to say I still like the comic a little bit better than the movie.
Yeah, I remember something about like the movie, the last chapter or when the movie was coming out, one of the last chapters or the last chapter in the movie had just came out like a month before the movie had dropped, or they started filming or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of little bits and pieces of the comic that really shine well in the movie, like when the one Captain America's character grinding down the rails. That grinding down the rail scene was actually really, really cool in the movie. And they kind of sort of don't. I think they did what was in the comic a lot more justice. There's all I have to say, like it did a really good job conveying like everything.
Hard to believe that movie's 10 years old, man. Something that's 25 years old will be the Resident Evil franchise, and we got Resident Evil Villages coming out maybe this year, maybe next year. I don't really know when the release date on that is. Do you?
Supposedly, it's going to be in like about a month and a half.
All right, so April's coming up, and we're going to get a Resident Evil. Capcom's giving us a Resident Evil event, basically. So we're going to have another demo they're going to put for Resident Evil Villages, which I think is really cool. Me and Shadow Shell played the first demo with that big bitch. She comes out of nowhere too, man.
What's her name? Lady
the vampire lady.
The Lady Damascus,
Madam
Demetrius,
something,
Demetrius or something like that.
Yeah, she like her right there, man. She is wow. When and it reminded me of like old Resident Evil. We had to like get the key for the clock, and the clock was another mystery. The puzzles really seem legit in this game. You know what I mean?
She is huge, but she also looks dirty in a lot of her stuff. Like she looks like she's put together really well, and you look really close. You're like, yeah, you look dirty, kind of. Sort of.
I don't think we played the main guy. I think kind of how the Resident Evil the 7, how they had like the guy you played in the demo was a guy it wasn't you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it was
you were part of like a film crew that was going there to investigate this haunted house, supposedly.
We definitely died at the end of the game. They ate us, pretty much.
Well, yeah, they show what happened to him later on in 7, like everything that happened to him in between when he was actually caught. That demo character was caught and everything. So
we're gonna get the Resident Evil event, and there's been lots of talk about Resident Evil 4 because it's a game that it keeps selling over and over again. But Resident Evil 4 remake. So that's the thing that they're working on. And if you're gonna, she can't even fit through the door. Lord have mercy. So if Resident Evil remake is a thing, we might be getting it there. But this is basically going to be a all Resident Evil situation. So we could get maybe another remake or remaster, because I believe was 3 a remake?
They already made 2 and 3 remakes.
Yeah, 2 and 3 was remakes, and but when you think about how Square's doing the remakes now, with the Final Fantasies and everything like that.
Well, they're not doing it. They're not doing it like Final Fantasy. Without spoiling Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy isn't. It is and it isn't a sequel. Where like literally, it's both simultaneously a sequel and a prequel.
Yeah, it's a new game at the same time.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like a sequel as well, right?
Yeah. So
Resident Evil, the Resident Evil ones are more like a retelling of the events that kind of sort of make it feel a lot more playable, I guess you could say. Like Resident Evil 2 happens at the same, everything happens basically at the same time. They change some of the story pacing and the story beats and stuff like that to make it a little bit more, I guess, simple, or to make it like flow a little bit better. And same thing with 3. They removed a lot of content from 3 supposedly to make it where it's just kind of sort of streamlined, but in a weird twisted way that it's kind of how Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 originally were. Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be a part of Resident Evil 2 technically, and it was Code Veronica that was
the one that
supposed to be the actual 3.
Yeah, because
they kind of did the same thing.
Sega gave them all that money to make Code Veronica, and Code Veronica was a really good game.
I think they should make another Code Veronica. I think they should redo 6, like redo 6 all together. Jesus, they just need to do redo 6
was rough
all together.
I beat it with Leon, and I beat it with I think I want to say I beat it with Chris.
I beat it with everyone.
Even Wesker's kids.
I played Leon first, and Leon feels like Resident Evil 4, which was like, all right, this is okay. Played it with Chris. Chris frustrated the hell out of me because the controls are just really weird, especially with like the cover mechanic that's in it. It's just
wasn't great.
A lot of it's just like I might as well just run and gun and screw all this. And they don't give you a good idea sometimes of where to go, especially the big game parts of Chris's part. I played as Jake. His felt like 5. His felt like Resident Evil 5, where it was like kind of sort of horror-esque, but it still was like more action-packed than anything. And the entire game was like very expected. Yeah. And then you get Ada Wong as an extra one, and hers actually felt more horror based than the other ones, like because you're by yourself. Some of the areas of the cameras are like fixed and stuff like that. Hers actually felt like, okay, I could see I could kind of feel the horror for these parts, because if I screw up, there's nobody to be like, oh, you're back up or anything like that. Yeah. And the enemies like felt like they actually are kind of threatening.
Now I do like what they did with the gameplay style in 6, like trying to give you these different games in this game, these gameplay styles of what Resident Evil had become.
The idea was great, but the execution was bad.
Poor. Speaking on developers, or should I say companies, whose execution at putting talent together has been bad. Let's talk about Amazon video games, because Amazon does make those things, and I don't know what they've actually made though.
They're not a company that does gaming.
Then they actually
have an online service, because you can download if you have a Twitch Prime, or Amazon Prime, you can get Twitch Prime. And when you have Twitch Prime, they give away free games on their platform.
And then they have some kind of handheld thing, or like a Stadia type situation going on too at one point, like a while.
I think there was talks about it, but I don't think they actually had like an active thing. A lot of stuff they've been doing is like mobile stuff on like phones.
So Amazon, who wants to take over the world, even though the head of the company is gone now, or leaving in the process of leaving. Amazon Games, who I kind of dislike, because they stole Double Helix away from
KI.
Xbox, who was the ones who actually started Killer Instinct and got off the ground before Iron Galaxy came in. And where is Double Helix now? Who knows? But Amazon Games has opened up a new AAA studio with the head of the Rainbow Six developers. So I guess they're from Ubisoft. They're saying that Amazon is further committing itself to breaking into the games industry and establishing a new studio alongside former staff from Rainbow Six Siege. Seems like big companies out of nowhere. It's like, man, gaming is a big thing. We need to like get a piece of this thing.
Well, it's starting to become hot because it's making money. It's making more money than they thought it would make. I remember the time when video gaming wasn't taken seriously. And all of these developers and stuff like that were just like, we don't know how we're going to make it, but we want to make these games. Now it's quite literally a business, and larger companies are taking over these businesses because they know they can turn a really good profit. I mean,
exactly.
Now the next wave that we're seeing is esports. Esports is literally the next wave of gaming that can be marketed and that can be profitable for larger companies. So,
so I mean, we can put Amazon in there with Google, who has the Stadia, which still exists. We'll see if it lasts the rest of the year. But clearly, Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world, not giving up. Amazon's new CEO announcing that he will be committed to the gaming division, and now Amazon Games has established a new studio in Montreal, Canada, where they do not have to pay high taxes. That's why everybody goes there. And join the ones already operating in Orange City, San Diego, which would be the Killer Instinct developers, formerly known as Double Helix. So I'm a little salty on that one.
You'll be fine.
But will Killer Instinct?
I mean, if they find those files that they lost of the game.
Good morning, FGC. On that note,
is it that time already? We're gonna just start off on a sad note. With how KI's lost all of their files and stuff.
What is you know what they should do, right? Microsoft should buy Dimps.
Don't think it would happen. Well, it would never happen.
If Microsoft bought Dimps, like I don't know what it would do.
I firmly stand by the fact that it will never happen. Why? It's a Japanese company. They have better dealings with Capcom. And Sony's probably going to buy Capcom. Won't happen.
But yeah, if they bought Dimps, then every other game studio, Dimps pretty much comes in and finishes every game. Every game. Every game they have some kind of creative or something with. They're pretty much hands in from they made all of Street Fighter 5. They have hands in Guilty Gear. It's so Dimps. If you don't know what Dimps is,
they've done a bunch of the older Dragon Ball titles too.
Yeah, exactly. Dimps is pretty much everywhere. So, the biggest fighting game in the world right now is, of course, you know what it is, Will.
Tekken 7. Street Fighter. Oh, I know what it is. King of Fighters.
I mean, that in Japan maybe, but the biggest.
No, Mexico for King of Fighters.
Brawlhalla. Brawlhalla is the biggest fighting game in the world. It has the most active players. And it also has the most active watchers on Twitch. So that being said, of course, they have a crossover event going on right now, which actually sounds pretty cool. It's going to be Kung Fu Panda and Brawlhalla. Matter of fact, they came out with a little trailer. So let's check it out. Did you ever watch Kung Fu Panda back in the day?
Nope.
Really? All right. So yeah, you got little brothers and sisters that are kind of older though, right?
My little brother's 10 or 9 years younger than me, so he would have been around the time of where he would have watched Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda.
There's an entire chunk of my life where I didn't watch like 3D animated stuff, like American 3D animated stuff, like Kung Fu Panda or Pixar films. So I mean, there's just a chunk. I was watching other stuff.
This was when Jack Black was like stupid popular. So can you
what do you mean super? He's not super popular now.
I mean, I think he was. He still is, but he was like in his prime. Like he could do no wrong. Like Nacho Libre had just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like he was like
you're making it seem like this dude's like not doing anything anymore. Get out of here. It's Jack Black.
What was the last Jack Black project? I can't remember.
He's doing a lot of stuff. He's still doing stuff. more of the stuff now is just like he's doing the streaming and he's doing interacting with a lot of people, but he's still doing stuff now. And like he's like, yeah, he fell off the map after the last Kung Fu Panda. Like that's the no.
There were like three of them.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Kung Fu Panda is in Brawlhalla. Here's the trailer. There was the trailer. All right, there we go. I did it, guys. Yay me.
Someone's getting mashed. Good Lord.
Oh, you got all the characters. Oh, snap. No voices, of course.
I mean, they'd have to pay Jack Black a lot of money.
Oh, snap. They gave him new moves. You know, everybody kind of has the same moves in what you call it a little bit.
I mean, some of them have different. They have like different like classes of stuff, like weapons or fists or whatever like that too.
Yeah. This is like the equivalent of like Bowser and Mario. They put like the whole cast in the game. Yo, this trailer looks like it took a lot of work to make. Yo, like the trailer is actually pretty dope. So available now for everyone who is a major Brawlhalla fan, which I gotta get on my niece so she can beat me or whatever the case is. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest Brawlhalla fan. I don't know about you, Lonely One.
I played it the one time that we played.
I mean, it was fun. The rollback was great.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I just hadn't like thought about going back to it. Just wasn't on my radar for a while.
Yeah. I would definitely be more ready to play a Smash than Brawlhalla. Not saying Brawlhalla was bad though. It was like
I don't know. Smash is
not
online is not the
online.
greatest.
I would like Smash is fun, but not online. Definitely Brawlhalla. Brawlhalla for the win online, and it's free to play. So, I mean, you got that going on with it too, which is probably why the player base is so big, but it's also making a lot of money as well. So, we were talking about the fact that Evo, is bought by Sony and everything. We're doing some research on RTS. Who are they? Found out they're the parent company. Their parent company that owns them actually owns the UFC, so they're used to doing tournaments. And it kind of seemed like, to me at least at first, this acquisition by Sony just came out of nowhere. Maybe they're trying to like make headlines or something like that. But actually, I think the infrastructure for this has been going on for a little while now. And a matter of fact, a lot of their Sony's online tournaments have been going on for a little bit too. So Sony has their competitive scene, their Sony PlayStation 4 PlayStation 4 competitions. There's the FGC section, as you can see right here. There's Mortal Kombat has theirs. This is the FGC part of it, but actually they do NBA 2K. They do they got shooters on there. They have Call of Duties and things like that. And basically this has been going on for about 2 years. This is a Sony site on Sony's page you can go to, and it's called Sony PlayStation 4 competitions, and they had their online competitions, and they've been running them and running them successfully too, with big prize pools up to like $5,000 for some like regular tournaments and like big championship pools. And they've been working with Mortal Kombat for the last 2 years, and they have like you said, FIFA, what is this, Call of Duty Black Ops, going back, and they even have their own sports. Like they got like training sessions, like zoning, how to deal with zoners, fight sticks, things like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, this why is rollback netcode? This article right here if any, signaled a lot. So it's talking about rollback, and of course we were talking about rollback a lot. And they basically say what is rollback and why is it a good thing. Like I said, what is rollback netcode? Basically, two systems talking to each other during the online play. If it's lagging, the netcode is at fault. The netcode, more importantly, fighting games and other games, turn-based strategy because fighters require precise inputs and smaller time frames. So basically, Sony's actually been behind the scenes, kind of pushing these companies, these Japanese companies, to have netcode. I believe that they are a big reason why we're, besides the fan base, of course, why we're actually seeing this rollback get introduced into things like Guilty Gear.
That's actually the interesting thing I'm seeing is like them sharing like stuff like Core 8 gaming and stuff.
On their official site, right?
Yeah, that's actually really insane.
They even cite games that have netcode that you can play.
Wait, I see a lie. Street Fighter 5 says rollback netcode. What?
They have a type of rollback. Their own.
I don't know about all that.
They have last night. So they had their own netcode. They didn't want to get anybody to help them, even the guys who actually invented it. You know, shout out to Project L. Brawlhalla, you see at the top. PlayStation All Stars, Injustice 2, Guilty Gear Strive down there. King of Fighters, we have our fingers crossed. They said don't quote us though, but we're like, please, come on, man.
I see PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, and I'm like, wow,
that's just because it's a PlayStation.
You're really trying to push like that. It also had rollback netcode, guys. You should play this. It was a good game, right? And they're like,
didn't you like playing as Dante? Like I said, you said, how rollback networks work? Like, they're really trying to educate the community and like actually have a community. And like I said, this is 2.5-3 years in the making that they've been having these tournaments, and I've been seeing them online, but I didn't know that they were Sony run. I knew that Sony was a sponsor. I didn't know that Sony was the one actually putting the competition on, getting the people to do the the commentating and actually like giving money for the prize pools as well. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because I didn't know that this was the thing either. Yeah, I'm actually more curious to see how this is gonna not just affect Sony but change the like esports landscape like all together. This
so neat. I was calling it wrong. It is the Sony PS4 tournament open series, and basically, like I said, it's been going on for a while now. And I kind of like stumbled as I was doing research on RTS, and the tournament series came up, and it I had seen, especially on PS4, because actually Xbox did the first world tournament for the first season of MK11, right? And then I was like, okay, then you started seeing like you think it was what is it, LLG or E-League, something like that. You would think they'd be the ones having the tournaments, league tournaments or whatever cases. I forget what it's called. But no, it's actually Sony. 5 reasons why we're excited for Guilty Gear Strive, which this article right here made me be like, maybe behind the scenes, maybe Sony's like, hey, I know like you may want to listen to these guys, and this might be, maybe Sony's actually trying to like grow the scene themselves, like without being the person that's like actually in front pushing from the back. You know what I mean?
Little do we know that Sony has been the entire time the one that has been getting the fighting game community and the fighting game developers for the roundtable talks. Like they're in the background, like, hey, maybe you guys should like, get together and do this thing.
But it would make more sense.
No, we don't need to. And then it's like, all right, maybe we do, maybe just a little bit.
Like they're promoting crossplay. They're promoting it would make sense because like, let's be honest, like for the entirety of fighting games, they haven't the roundtable talk and everything like that. It has never happened, but by them just sitting down and talking to each other, they can share aspects, if not share tech. You know what I'm saying?
And it looks like it's actually been really beneficial to their development of these later games and stuff like that. So
yeah, and like I said, like without a lot of press or anything like that, Sony has actually been setting up the infrastructure for EVO Online. They've been running online tournaments for the last 3 years, like with pros. I mean, and the brand the brand. I mean, Sony as the brand is the brand, but the fact that they're pushing out fighting games got me thinking like, man, this might be something important to cover because this isn't actually coming out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure the branch that Sony put aside 3 years to start this online tournaments is the ones that are actively involved in what Evo is going to be next, or whatever the case is. So it's just something to think about, you know. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sony is behind these companies, these Capcoms, these Bandai Namcos, pushing them to like, hey, maybe you guys need to get together to make this better, so we can have something better for the community.
So we can make more money.
I mean, yeah, that too, right? Something to think about. You know, I thought I wanted to share with everybody. I thought it was pretty cool, but that's all I got for you guys today. I'm Red Cake.
I'm the loneliest wolf by choice.
Keep being cool, keep playing games, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.